Let me guess. You got client delivery, you got conferences to attend, you have responsibility as a board member or a board director, you have family life, you also have your life, you also have to do outreach, BD support, all the things. Friend, you are wearing too many hats. Okay? So if you're new here, welcome. I am Shevvy, and as your business development and SBIR consultant, I help you to execute federal funding strategies, but also submit SBIR merit-worthy proposal. If you're new here, drop a one in the chat, say hello and welcome to the Executive Innovation Show. Okay, and this show is really focused on helping tech founders like yourself, like I said, to execute federal funding opportunities, but also submit SBIR merit-worthy proposal. And today we're talking about finding the right federal opportunity. I'm going to share with you my POP framework that I utilize to help my client to tap into government opportunities. Okay, but welcome, say hello. I have two people joining me. Let me know where you're joining me from. I'm streaming live on LinkedIn, which is my main platform, but also on YouTube at the Executive Innovation Show. So when you're done watching it here, go subscribe, say hello. And also I am on Facebook as well. So say hello as well too. At the Executive. All right, let me turn this down. But welcome. Drop in the chat where you're joining from. And if you are a tech founder, drop a 2 in the chat, okay? Drop a 2. And while you are, typing, maybe you're driving, you can watch this later on. I want a quick question. What is your number one challenge when it comes to business development? Like having someone in your corner. Do you have one? Let me know in the chat. So I really want to talk about finding the right opportunity. And before I go in, sometimes you'll hear on, social, on different YouTube channels of individuals speaking, especially if they're in the federal space. And some people say, hey, if you're starting out, just go, submit for anything and any and everything. I am different. I am not about just, responding to anything. For me is positioning, because yes, I'm, in the federal space, but I don't want to be doing something that I know I'm not going to be excited to do. And I think as tech founders, you all love what you do and you want to do more of the work that you love doing, because of what sense does it make? And I get it. People are like, well, it's money. All money is not good money. Okay. And for me, I'm speaking for Shevvy, I want to make sure there's alignment. So the first thing when it comes to the POP framework is positioning. And you have to think about it when it comes to your tech company. How is your company positioned? Okay. Welcome, Rochelle, the Slay Queen. Hey, thank you for joining me. So really think like, how is your company positioned to tap into those federal opportunities? And one thing that I do is sit down with my clients and look at strategically, how can we position your business for the best opportunity? And that is having a conversation, me having an understanding of what is it that my client is looking for in the sense of opportunities. Because I don't want to go out and look at all the things in SAM.gov or all the things at the state level and be searching, wasting time, when I can be very intentional about what it is that my client is looking for when it comes to opportunities. So you have to look at, how are you positioning your company? Are you all over the place? And some companies, because I understand money is a scarcity thing. If you don't have it and you're like, I need money. But I'm telling you, if you position your company by having someone like me, your BD, come in, sit down with you and have a conversation so that we can understand, and I can let you know and lay out the plan and say, hey, this is the plan of how we can position your company to be that go-to person that the government would like to bring in to help support. So that's number one, because it's all about finding the right opportunity, not all the opportunity, because you don't have the capacity. Like I shared in the beginning, you're wearing many different hats. And I know you don't have time to wear the BD hat like I do, because this is my focus. This is what I do. This is how I support my clients. And this is how I help you get results, in the sense of finding those opportunities, in the sense of finding partnership and submitting these proposals on your behalf, because I cannot guarantee you the contract because, hey, I am not sitting behind those government walls. But I do understand what goes into getting those contracts because I have, retired Air Force. I used to be a Corps, which is a contract and offer representative. I've dealt with, providing a statement of works to get contracts to come and provide services to our organization. So I do understand the scope of what all that entails. I have friends who are in the contracting space while they were on active duty. So I definitely understand what it takes to get those opportunities. And that is what I'm here to help you to really understand. And maybe you've never been in the government space, but guess what? Working with me, you will understand how to tap into those space because I'm going to be doing the work. So that's number one for the POP framework, is really looking at how are you positioning your company to make sure that it aligns with what these different organizations are looking for. The next thing that you want to do, and that I do, is the outreach. And you're at capacity, so I know that you don't have time, my friend, to go out and make those connections because you're already going to conferences. You're doing that, okay? But you don't have the true time to say, let me sit down and spend 30 minutes reaching out to this federal contracting officer or program manager. You don't have time to do that. And by doing the outreach, this is what I do. I am building that relationship for you, for your company. I am speaking on behalf of your company. And when you do that, you're making connection. You are creating that relationship where that person, as they're hearing, well, I'm going to be listening to like, hey, here's what they have in a sense of their problem, because outreach, you're reaching out to identify, okay, what problem does this agency has going on? And what solution can you bring to them? And by doing the outreach, sometimes there's opportunities that you can have by just having that conversation with that contracting officer or that program manager and say, hey, here's what I see is happening in your organization. Here's the problem that you all have, but here's my solution to that problem. That is the golden nugget of outreach. It's not always, nothing is promised, of course, but there's a great opportunity to build that relationship, to get to know the company, agency challenges, and really look at your capability, because we're going back to the positioning, how you're going to leverage that. So if you're like tracking like, okay, positioning is like key, type positioning in the chat. And welcome, Chanella. Thank you for tuning in from New Jersey. Appreciate you being here. Yes. Like if you believe that positioning is going to be, think about, if you're not in the tech space, think about what is it that you do right now and ask yourself, are you positioned properly within your business? And how is that impacting your business for the good or not for the good because you're not positioned? And I know Rochelle is here, and I know she's positioned because everyone knows her as knows Rochelle as a slay queen. They know that she does branding, she does, consulting, imaging, and so forth. She gives you the whole picture. So you have to look at, is my positioning positioned correctly? My business positioned correctly? Am I doing outreach to the right agency? Because we're not going all over the place. We're not going all over the place because we have to maximize our time. You are already at capacity, my friend. And as your BD, whether it's me, whether it's someone else, let us take on this specific role for you. And imagine having someone in your corner as your partner, as your speaker for your company, who is making sure that your company is positioned to the right agencies, whether that's commercial or federal, but also the outreach, taking time to go out and connect to these different organizations. Okay. Let me close this out very quickly. Yes. So really looking at outreach. And if you don't have the time, this is what I support you with. And Rochelle said, positioning properly is extremely important, 100%. And sometimes as we're growing our businesses, we don't have the time because maybe there's an opportunity that came up out of nowhere, or maybe there's someone that you knew to say, hey, Shevvy, this would be a great opportunity. Even though I may not have been positioned in the open, maybe they saw something, maybe it's a friend, but we don't want to rely on just friends to be like, here's a one-off. We want things that are consistent. So having that strategic plan with the positioning and also the outreach as well too. And then the last thing in the POP framework is the partnership. Partnership, partnership, partnership. You can continue to drive because remember, you're serving your clients. You have the team that you're leading. You have family life. You have conferences. You have podcast interviews. Because again, you want to make sure that the visibility for your company is out there. You're looking to make sure that you have opportunity for people to hear your voice. You also want to make sure that you have time to show up for your family. So when do you have time for the BD aspect of your business? You probably don't. And I understand because I have conversations with business owners who are at capacity and they want someone to take on that workload. And sometimes they hesitate. Maybe they're not fully ready, but they know they need someone. But here's your reminder. Having someone like me to come in, support you, someone who has that military experience of execution and also delivery. Because for me, it's not just, here you go. It's like, okay, I know your hands are full. So here's the plan and let me execute, let me deliver. The only thing you got to do is 20% of saying yes, no, let's move this. You're just making decisions. And that's where I come in. So the partnership comes in many different forms. It can happen through attending conferences. Okay. Because when I go to events, if I'm supporting you as your fractional BD, I'm not only thinking about my company, I'm thinking about how can I leverage my clients' work company for this with this conversation. Hello, Glenn Roy. Good day, good day, good day. Thank you for joining. Thank you for joining. Yeah, so I look at how can I bring my client's work to this client or potential partnership that I'm having a conversation with, because I'm thinking about you while I'm having these conversations. I'm not only thinking about my company. Also, another aspect of what I do is look at prime companies that are already in the government space who already has multi and billion-dollar contracts. I look at how can I position my client to tap into their opportunity as a subcontractor. That is one way. And another way is team and partnership. How can I bring, which I've done, one business along with my client's business and have a conversation to where they are working and agreeing to be in partnership to launch a specific thing. These are the things that I do, and you don't have to worry about doing the work at all. All you have to do as a tech founder is continue to do what you love and let me do what I love to do, which is making sure that you as my client have the resources, have the strategic plan and the execution so that all you got to do is make the decision and that's it. So when it comes to federal opportunities, it's not about finding all and tapping into all the opportunities, because there's a lot of opportunities in SAM.gov. There's a lot of opportunities from the state. There's a lot of opportunities in different systems, but who wants to be in all the different systems? I know you don't. So let me focus on that. Let me support you. And this month in June, I have 4 openings to support tech founders who are truly looking for fractional business development support. Hey, TJ. Awesome. Thank you for joining me on Facebook. Love it, love it, love it. So, like I said, I know you are delivering amazing work. You have your team that you're leading. You have conferences that you're attending. Like your calendar is booked up. So you truly don't have time to have those necessary and intentional conversations. You don't have time to truly follow up with those individuals that you went to the conference with, that you have this stack of business cards or notes in your notes say, hey, I need to follow up with X, Y, and Z. You don't have the time to do that. Part of my BD process is helping you to put that into a structure process so you know exactly and do the outreach on your behalf. So if you're in a space of like, you know what, I need someone like Shevvy to come in and help me with the BD work, have her take on this range for me. All you need to do is either drop BD in the chat or send me a DM. Send me a DM with the word BD, and I'll be happy to start a conversation and we can see how we can work together. All right, let's see what Glenn Roy just said. He said, having someone that is pushing the wheelbarrow of your ideas and organizing the disbursement of those ideas in a cohesive manner that aligns with branding and potential client needs. I like it. Every industry professional needs someone like you, Shevvy. Say that again, Glenroy. Love it, love it, love it. Thank you. And I truly believe, so thank you for that. Like, this is truly a great statement, Glenroy. So thank you. So many businesses, especially at the small level. When I say small, I'm not saying like you starting from scratch. I'm saying you have been in business for 4, 5 years, 7 years. And you have the experience and the skill set for over maybe 15, 20 years, 10 years. And you're doing a lot as the CEO, as the founder. And yes, you have subcontractors. Yes, you may have 1 or 2 employees, but you don't have anyone as your BD. So think about you pull in your team members, your subcontractors to kind of fill that role, but they can't because their skill set is something else. So imagine you trying to continue to do this for the next 3 months, 6 months. What's going to happen? You don't want to lead to burnout. And that's why it is so critical for businesses at this stage to bring on that fractional BD. Don't wait until you get to another level. Think of the opportunities that you're missing. Think about the time that your actual time that you can get back to really focus on serving your clients and having specific conversation with specific individuals, partnership that I'm bringing to you. So really think of how this BD can help you to leverage your growth as a CEO so you can make more effective decisions, also get your time back, and also bring opportunities to you and submit proposals on your behalf without you having to do the work. Why not? Why not? So if you're in that space as a tech founder and you're like, hey, this is the type of support I'm looking for, and someone that you can trust, because I know you can't trust everybody out here, but I'm telling you, when you work with me, if I don't know it, I'll figure it out and get a solution. That is me. We are executors here and we get things done. I'm not wasting your time and I don't want you to waste my time. So if you're in that space and you're ready for full support as a fractional BD, reach out to me. I would love to support you. And as always, if there are any questions, you can drop it here, #replay. And please go to my YouTube channel, subscribe to the Executive Innovation Show, where you can watch this later on. And also invite a friend. Share this live with a friend who's in the tech space and has, been struggling. And this person is struggling because they're doing so much and they can use someone like me. Connect me with that person. I will definitely appreciate it. And as always, I am Shevvy Mack, your host of the Executive Innovation Show. And as your business development and SBIR consultant, I help tech founders like yourself to execute federal funding strategies and submit SBIR merit-worthy proposals so that you can grow a sustainable business. That is the ultimate goal. Thank you so much for joining me. And this is where innovation meets funding and execution meets leadership. Have an amazing Wednesday. And as always, I will see you all next Wednesday. Bye, y'all.